Hello everyone, you are on the Scary Story channel. Today, I have a tale that will make you look twice at every doll in your house. It's about a little girl named Lily and her favorite doll, Rosie. Lily got Rosie for her 6th birthday. Rosie wasn't just any doll, she was a life-sized porcelain doll with glassy blue eyes, rosy cheeks, and long blonde curls. Lily was inseparable from Rosie. She dressed her in her own old clothes, had tea parties with her, and even set a place for her at the dinner table. Her parents thought it was sweet, a sign of a vivid imagination. The first strange thing happened a few weeks later. Lily's mom, Sarah, was cleaning Lily's room. She placed Rosie on the bed, facing the wall. When she came back with the vacuum cleaner, Rosie was sitting upright, facing the door. Sarah shrugged it off. Maybe Lily had come back into the room without her noticing. But a strange, cold feeling pricked at the back of her neck. Days turned into weeks, and more odd things began to occur. Toys would be scattered across the floor in the morning, even though Sarah was certain she had put them all away the night before. Faint giggling could sometimes be heard from Lily's room when she was supposed to be fast asleep. When her parents asked Lily about it, she'd just smile and say, "Rosie likes to play at night." They dismissed it as childish fantasy. But the incidents grew more unsettling. One evening, Lily's dad, Tom, was walking past her room and heard voices. He pressed his ear to the door. He could hear Lily talking, her voice soft and happy. Then he heard another voice, a whisper, raspy and low, unlike a child's. His blood ran cold. He burst into the room. Lily was sitting on the floor, having a tea party with Rosie. "Who were you talking to, sweetie?" he asked, his heart pounding. Lily pointed at the doll. "Rosie, of course, she was telling me secrets." The parents started to get seriously worried. They noticed Lily was becoming more withdrawn. She stopped playing with her friends, preferring to spend all her time locked in her room with Rosie. Her drawings, once filled with rainbows and smiling suns, were now dark and chaotic scribbles. When they tried to talk to her about it, she would get defensive, hugging Rosie tightly and whispering, "You don't understand. Rosie is my only true friend." One night, Sarah was woken by a loud crash from downstairs. She nudged Tom awake, and they crept out of their bedroom. As they reached the top of the stairs, they saw the source of the noise. A heavy vase that had been on the mantelpiece was shattered on the floor, and standing in the middle of the living room, bathed in moonlight from the window, was Rosie. The doll was just standing there, her glass eyes seeming to stare right through them. They froze in terror. How could the doll be downstairs? Tom grabbed a baseball bat from the closet and slowly advanced. As he got closer, the doll's head slowly, mechanically turned to face him. A tiny, creaking sound echoed in the silent house. That was it. Tom ran forward and swung the bat, smashing the porcelain doll into 100 pieces. Lily screamed from the top of the stairs. She had seen everything. Her parents rushed to comfort her, but she was inconsolable, crying for her broken friend. The next few days were tense. Lily refused to speak to her parents. They hoped that with the doll gone, things would return to normal. They were wrong. The whispering didn't stop. If anything, it got louder. It seemed to come from the walls, from the vents, from every dark corner of the house. It was a constant, faint murmur, just on the edge of hearing. Lily, however, seemed to hear it perfectly. She would often be found standing in the middle of a room, head tilted, listening intently. A slow, unnerving smile would sometimes spread across her face. One afternoon, Sarah found Lily in her room, sitting in front of her large wardrobe mirror. She was talking to her own reflection, but her voice was different. It was the same raspy, low whisper Tom had heard before. "Soon," Lily was whispering to her reflection, "soon we won't need them anymore." Sarah backed away slowly, her hand clamped over her mouth to stifle a scream. She ran to find Tom and told him what she saw. They knew they had to get Lily out of that house. They decided to take her to her grandmother's for a while, hoping a change of scenery would help. That night, as they were packing, a strange calm fell over the house. The whispering stopped. A sense of relief washed over them. Maybe the worst was over. They tucked Lily into bed, kissed her good night, and went to their own room, exhausted. In the middle of the night, Sarah woke up with a start. The house was dead silent, too silent. A primal fear gripped her. She shook Tom awake. "Something's wrong," she whispered. They got up and crept to Lily's room. The door was slightly ajar. Peeking inside, they saw that Lily's bed was empty. Panic set in. They searched the house, calling her name, their voices filled with growing dread. They couldn't find her anywhere. Just as they were about to call the police, Tom noticed something on the floor of Lily's room, near the shattered remains of the wardrobe mirror. It was a single blonde curl. Next to it, scrawled on a piece of paper in childish handwriting, were the words, "Rosie is my only friend. Now I'm a doll too. We can play forever." They never saw Lily again. The police searched for months, but it was as if she had vanished into thin air. The parents eventually moved out, unable to bear the oppressive silence of the house, a silence that was somehow more terrifying than the whispers had ever been. Years later, a new family moved in. They had a little girl, about the same age as Lily had been. One day, while exploring her new room, the girl found an old, dusty wardrobe in the corner. She opened it, and her eyes lit up. Inside, sitting perfectly still, was a life-sized doll with glassy blue eyes, rosy cheeks, and long, blonde curls. The doll looked almost real. The girl smiled. "Hello," she said, reaching out to touch its hand. "Do you want to be my friend?" The doll's head tilted slightly, and a faint, raspy whisper seemed to echo from deep within its porcelain chest. "Forever." Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Scary Story for more chilling tales. We'll see you in the next one. Sleep tight.